Okay, so for data table 2, you have to be able to calculate calories using the information from table 1. What the book gave you is very complicated, but what it basically boils down to is what I have here in the light blue, the turquoise. So Q represents the energy, is the heat absorbed by the water. And when you took the temperature, I don't know if you noticed, but inside the device, there was water in it, okay? And so when you ignited the food, the energy trapped in the food was transferred to the water. So that's what Q, and we're calculating Q. M is the mass of the water. The water I just told you was in the calorimeter. That is a given. And they really didn't explain that to you, so that will always stay the same. That 600 grams will be a constant for this investigation. Then the small c is the specific heat of water, and that goes back to what a calorie actually is. Calorie is what it takes to raise a given amount of water a degree Celsius, okay? So that's a constant. That's not going to change. So these two numbers are given to you. The only thing you need to calculate really is the change in temperature. And you did that in data table 1. So here's what it looks like all written out, is that you have Q, which is the energy that was released when the food item was ignited. 600 grams was the amount of water. This is the specific heat of water, which relates to what a calorie is. And then you need to insert the temperature difference, okay? And here's why it works. Remember, we want to find calories, okay? So the 600, we have grams up here, we have grams down here. They cancel each other out. We have degrees Celsius here, and then we have degrees Celsius here in our difference in temperatures. So look at the unit we're left with, calories. We're in exactly the right spot, okay? And so when you eliminate all the units, this is what you're left with right down here. And this is what you want to put in your temperature difference, okay? So you have 600 times 1 calorie times your temperature difference. So let me erase this. Let's actually apply a number into it, okay? So I want to, let's say the temperature difference was 1.22. So we're going to put in 1.22. And we've already crossed out the degrees Celsius, so we can just deal with our numbers. So if I bring up a calculator, I'm going to, hit clear, and then go 600 times 1, which we all know is the same thing, so you really don't need to put in the 1, times 1.22 equals, okay? And we get 732, okay? So that 732 is how many? Let's see, here we go. Let me put that in. 732 calories. Now that's a little c calorie. And I talked about that in the intro in today's lesson. What we want, so this is how they calculate heat in physics. But we want to know the calories in food. We want to know food calories or kilocalories. And kilo means 1,000. So we need to, this is 1 calorie, but I need 1,000. So what I need to do is I'm going to divide my calories that I have for Q, I just calculated, and I'm going to divide it by 1,000. Okay, so let's go back to here. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to divide by 1,000. So that really means we're just moving the decimal 3 places over. And I get 0.732. Well, we're only going to go to hundredths, so it's 0.73. Oops, and that's not where I wanted it to go. I wanted it to go right here. Okay, so 0.73. That's food calories. Okay, so we take that number and then we go to our data table. And if you look at data table 2, these are food samples you just transfer from the first. Change in mass, direct transfer from your first data table. And the change in water temperature, a direct transfer. So we just calculated this to be 0.73. Why is it not typing? Oh, there we go, 73. Okay, and that's big C, food calorie, also known as food calorie, also known as kilocalorie. Okay, so big C. All right, so now I have how many calories are in the food sample that I just had. But now, so we can compare all the different foods, we need to know how many they have per gram. Then we get numbers that we can actually compare. We're comparing apples to apples, not apples to oranges. And so if you look, the formula is right here. It's calories, which is this column, divided by your change, which is this column. Okay, so for this, let me see if I can move that. So I would take 7.73 and I'm going to divide that by 1.22. Okay, and that gives me 0.6. What that tells me is that I have 0.6 of a calorie for every gram of food for this. So then we just enter that right here. So 0.6. And that would be calories per gram. And it is not typing. Come on. So 0.6, there we go. Calories per gram. Okay. So just to do a recap, what you want to focus on is plugging your numbers into this formula right here, okay? Because all the units cancel out, so I showed you that. And this puts it in calories with a little c. The 1.22 is your temperature difference that you get from table 1. Multiply that out, you get little c, then you need to divide by 1,000 to get the number of kilocalories, which is food calories or calories with a big C. Then you have that. You come over here, you put it in your table, and then the last column you get from dividing this column by that column, just like it shows you up at the top. So I agree the way the book did it was a little confusing because they didn't tell you what the 600 grams were. But it's a constant. It will stay, for this investigation, it will stay the same. And the specific heat of water also stays the same. And it's related to the definition of what a calorie is. And so to find out the energy, 600 times 1 times your difference. And then take that and divide by 1,000 to get your kilocalories. And that is what you enter on your second table. Hope this helps.